It was a hot summer day, the 28th of ER, 5727, but hearts were burning with excitement. Jerusalem, the holy city, had been divided for 19 years. A wall separated the western part of the city, which was under Israeli control, from the eastern part, under Jordanian rule. Jews could not reach the western wall, the Temple Mount, or the holy sites. It seemed as if the generations-old dream of returning to Jerusalem was slipping further away. And then suddenly the Six-Day War broke out. The Arab armies gathered around Israel's borders, and the threat was grave. Many feared for the safety of the small nation, but in many hearts a strong faith burned. Behold, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. In the darkest moments when all seemed lost, many turned in prayer to God, for He alone saves and delivers. The battle for Jerusalem during the Six-Day War was one of the most dramatic and moving battles in the history of Israel. For 3 days, from June 5th to 7th, 1967, fierce battles raged between IDF forces and the Jordanian army. Both sides understood that much more was at stake here than just control over territory. This was about the very heart of the history and identity of the Jewish people. It all began on the morning of June 5th, when the Jordanians opened heavy shelling on West Jerusalem. Shells fell on houses, the streets emptied, and the air was filled with the scent of dust and anxiety. Jordanian soldiers seized key positions such as Armon HaNetziv, and the threat to the southern neighborhoods of the city grew steadily. The IDF, which at first tried to avoid escalation, realized there was no choice. Jerusalem was in real danger. The battle for Ammunition Hill, one of the war's symbols, took place on the night between June 5th and 6th. That night, paratroopers climbed up the hill, moving among mines, barbed wire, and narrow, winding trenches. The Jordanians were well fortified, and the battle turned into a close-quarters combat, sometimes at just a few meters' distance. Heavy fire from all directions, exploding grenades, cries of the wounded. The drama was at its peak. The brave soldiers had to storm fortified bunkers, at tremendous risk to their lives. Yehuda Kandel crawled under fire, climbed onto the roof of a bunker, and threw a grenade inside. A daring act that enabled the advance to continue. The battle lasted for many hours, until finally, at dawn, control of the hill was achieved. 36 Israeli soldiers fell in this battle. Many others were wounded, but thanks to their bravery, the route to the old city was opened. On the morning of the 28th of ER, June 7th, the gates of the old city were breached. The paratroopers, filled with immense excitement, entered through the Lion's Gate, passed through the narrow streets, and reached the Temple Mount and the Western Wall. The call, "The Temple Mount is in our hands," echoed over the radio, becoming a symbol of victory and the fulfillment of generations' dreams. The tension, the tears, and the gratitude to God, all these merged into an unforgettable historic moment. The feeling was clear. It was not our own strength or might that brought about this miracle, but the grace of the Almighty. Many felt that they had witnessed with their own eyes the fulfillment of the prophet's words, "And the children shall return to their own border," and that the return to Jerusalem was a sign and symbol of divine providence that accompanies the Jewish people in every generation. From then on, the 28th of ER was established as Jerusalem Day. The Knesset enacted the Jerusalem Day law in order to emphasize the centrality of the United City in the life of the Jewish people, and to express gratitude to God for the great miracle. Every year, on this day, festive ceremonies are held in Jerusalem and beyond, including the flag parade through the city streets, Thanksgiving prayers at the Western Wall, memorials for the fallen soldiers, and tours of historical sites. On Jerusalem Day, people do not forget to thank God for the miracles, for the fact that a small army stood against many armies, that the old city returned to our hands almost without any damage to the holy sites, and for the fact that the dream of returning to Jerusalem became a reality. Every year, as tens of thousands of people march with flags and songs through the city streets, hearts fill with excitement because everyone knows that none of this can be taken for granted. It's a gift from heaven. Many see this day as a day of deep faith, a day when the Jews remember that all their successes, all their victories, are thanks to God's help and not at all due to their own strength. So every year, Jewish people return to the city walls, to the Western Wall Plaza, to the stories and memories. They remind themselves and their children, not by my strength, not by the might of my hand, but by God's will and His grace. Jerusalem, the eternal city, the city of faith, the city of hope, continues to inspire everyone's hearts. Thanks to faith and prayer, and thanks to the great miracle that occurred on the 28th of ER 5727,